Hello everyone, this is Joe, Four Soft Corners, and for today's video I'm doing a VR for Eric over at 4 Leaf Cards. So, um, as many of you know, a lot of people have been doing this VR. Eric, kind of years in the making, wanted to put together something kind of to maybe not go hand in hand with, but like accompany, I guess, the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame with an all-star team every year. So there's lots of people that either aren't eligible yet to be in the Hall of Fame or haven't maybe been around long enough or done enough yet to be considered for it, but still make a lot of great content and very active in the community and all of that still want to kind of recognize their efforts. So that's what this is. All-star team, some managers which are Hall of Famers, and then rookies of the year. I kind of cheated a little bit, so I put my own twist on it. So the people that I picked for that, if they're not necessarily counted, we'll get into that more later. But I wanted to do this whole thing with cards to represent people from my Perez Steel Celebration postcard set. So just an example, start off, there's the Bobby Dorr. So I thought that would be a good representation for Eric from 4 Leaf Cards. So you kind of start off with Eric, almost like I believe they did for like Cal Ripken Jr. and I'm trying to think of people off the top of my head, but being they put on this contest, kind of like the honorary all-star vote. So we'll go with that. Yeah, so some of the cards I picked might not line up exactly. I did the best I could to find something for each person. I wanted to write the names in a different style too, so some of them might be a little sloppy, but thought it was kind of a unique touch. But anyway, so we'll continue on. So these are in no particular order, and also, like everybody has said, it's so hard to, all of us watch so much content and are associated with so many people and have so many friends here, it's hard to recognize everybody. And so if you're not on this list, it's nothing personal, and I probably still watch your content. I just, these were the people I thought maybe had the best year, made the most content, did the most within the community. So yeah. Next, so Adam at Vintage Sanctuary. There's a couple cards I used for other people I could have maybe used for Adam, but I'll always associate this Al Kaline with Adam, because I've seen him give away at least 2 Al Kaline cards, and on his little, he usually puts an index card or note with some trivia to try and figure out what cards are in that, and he always used both times I've seen it, he used the not acidic clue for Al Kaline card, and gifted me an awesome Al Kaline card for the All-Star card from the 1960 top set, because when I was going through showing my set, he saw that the card I owned was faded, so went out of his way to make sure I got a better copy for my set. So we'll always appreciate that. Next we have Sammy over at SFI Sports Cards, and yeah, for him I went with Lefty Gomez. So Yankees fan, I know he's doing, had started a project with trying to collect cards from some of the championship winning rotations. So pretty sure Lefty Gomez has quite a few under his belt. So Sammy, great channel. Just probably the most knowledgeable person as far as the game I watch on here. Just always great info. Knows so much just off the top of his head, and just really cool guy. I've been lucky enough to be able to, text back and forth about stuff too. So next we got TJ Mack, Vintage Cards and Nostalgia, Terry, and for him, picked this Mickey Mantle. His favorite card ever is the 56 Topps Mantle. I believe his favorite player ever, I think it has ties, I believe it was his dad's favorite player. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, just great channel, great stories, and just thoughts on collecting and displaying cards, and just, sorry, trying to adjust this a little. Yeah, just like I said, great stories all the time on his channel. So next we have Theo, Clemente Collector. So there's not Clemente in this set, so that would be the obvious choice, but went with another one of his Pirates in Willie Stargell. So yeah, these next Theo and the next channel, both guys just really have taken the live stream and interview type format of videos and just ran with it and done such a great job with it this past year. And Theo was nice enough to host, did a live stream with him and Shane Shoebox Legends and Matt from the Card Story, showing off my 50, or just talking about the 53 top set after I completed the set. So appreciate him for hosting that. And again, like I said, John 3D80s Kid, also just the live streams they kind of collaborated on, and those two, along with Pepino Man and James Elite Hunters, I believe it'll be this coming Saturday, August 27th. Let's give a plug for it again here. They're doing their marathon to kick off their 4 Collectors channel, so check that out. Like I said, just individually and collectively done such a great job with the live stream format. Oh, sorry. Do not have a Willie Mays in this set, which would have been who I picked, but went with this Eddie Matthews, both because of the Braves connection, and then also I believe it was John's favorite vintage card is the 1960 Topps Eddie Matthews, so that's why I chose that for him. Next we have good pal Eddie over at Eddie's Cardboard Chaos. And for him, this Brooks Robinson. Eddie's just a great channel, great supporter of my channel, just great for the community as a whole, always shouting people out, really does it all as far as collecting autographs, doing TTMs, collecting sets, singles, just anything. Just really enjoy his content and collection. Next, probably the best storyteller in our community, the Drew of Vintage Legacy. So of course, had to pick this Pee Wee Reese. So yeah, Drew just has tremendous retelling of stories from his experiences, and just the history of the game, and like I said, just a wealth of knowledge, and always enjoy listening and watching his videos. Really great channel here in the community. So next we have Darren at Return to Collecting. So there's not an Nolan Ryan, so I picked this Yogi Berra. He's a Yankees fan, and also this is his daughter's favorite player, so like that. Darren has really burst onto the scene this past year, and has a just absolutely amazing collection. His Nolan Ryan collection is just astounding, and all the other cards are, you know, no slouches either. So just really great channel there with Darren. Next we have Jason from Basement Card Collector. Again, kind of akin to Eddie, kind of does a little bit of everything, does TTM, collects other autographs, and is did more modern sets, and then is ever branching farther back and back into vintage cards and sets. He's a Cubs fan, so no Andre Dawson in this set, but picked this Ernie Banks. So yeah, just definitely great videos there over at Jason's channel. Next, in the first of some father-son duos, we have Zach and Porter. White Sox fan, so picked this Louis Aparicio. And just I love this, seeing the enthusiasm together, the enthusiasm for collecting at such a young age from Porter, and then just overall seeing them do it together and pick up their trades from TCDB and pickups from eBay and stuff like that, and then seeing their videos from the National and all their pickups. Just really love collecting, and have a tremendous, I know it's, I believe, approaching or might have surpassed 1,100 cards of Frank Thomas. So just really great father-son duo there, as well as this one, Matt and Tyrus from The Card Story. And I don't know, couldn't really come up with much, so I just picked this Hank Aaron. But no, of course that had to be who that, I mean, it is the Hank Aaron Card Story. Yeah, really, one of the greatest friends I've met so far, or two of the greatest friends I met so far here while collecting, and just someone Matt get to talk, text with quite often, and just share our experiences. And anytime I pick up a card, one of the first people, or if I'm thinking about picking up a card, either showing him or the first person I show that I did pick something up, just because I know he'll always be there congratulating me, and so always really appreciate that. So next, relatively newer guy, but channel I've absolutely grown to love, Mookie Chilson. So there are no Mets in this, but I did pick this Duke Snider. Played, I believe, his last season with the Mets. So wanted to add that. Just, I believe it was Shane from Shoebox Legends just gave me that. I think it's when I saw Mookie make a video for my contest I was doing, and I think Shane just gave me a heads up, say, hey, this is a great channel, just make sure you check out his video he did. And as soon as I did, I looked back at his videos and saw his first couple of videos were all about pinhole cards, and showing him on getting pinned up on his corkboard. And it was just funny because Shane said he's the only other person besides me that I've seen take a card and just pin it up on a board like that. So immediately had that connection, and then just his passion for collecting and just the cards he collects and the stories as well for him. Just really love watching his videos. And then also same for Andy over at D's Collection. I used the Stan Musial later for somebody else, but I did have this Enos Slaughter, and you know, both of us are big Cardinals fans, so I figured that would work out well. That's kind of a joke we continually have, because I do seem to always pick up Cardinals between Musial, or I have an Adam Wainwright PC, and then just other cards of Cardinals I have. Just always enjoy joking about that with Andy. But really love his channel and the way he collects, and just the way he shows his stuff off, and just fantastic collection. So this is a stretch for the card I picked for this, but this is Three Good Nerds for Justin and excuse me, the rest of the nerds over there at Three Good Nerds. I know he's a Rangers fan, and I know he has a lot of autographs of Hall of Famers, but I went outside the box and picked this Billy Williams just because of the connection with the name being similar to Billy D. Williams, who plays Lando Calrissian from the Star Wars movies. So they have a fantastic collection of Star Wars autographs and just cards, and just the amount of videos they make, and videos shouting out other channels, just so remarkable and so great here in the community. Like I said, just because of the amount of videos they make, I don't always get a chance to watch all of them, and some of the rips, if it's a product that maybe won't be into, I don't get to watch all of them. But just overall, really enjoy and appreciate, like I said, their willingness to just go above and beyond to spread, you know, everyone else's channel here in the community. Next, Liam over Junior Baseball Fanatic 12. I will kind of admit, I watched some of his videos. I didn't watch all of them, and then the National happened, and it was like the all-star of the National was Liam, and just everybody just blown away by his knowledge of the history of the game and the cards for as young as he is, and just like I said, I feel like he just stole the show, because I felt like every video I was watching was somebody saying how happy they were to meet him and meet his parents. And so for him, I have this Buck Leonard. He picked up a Buck Leonard autograph at the National, and always has a great appreciation for the Negro Leagues, especially Satchel Paige. Being a pitcher himself, I know he definitely always enjoys collecting pictures. But yeah, since then I've kind of rectified missing out on some of his, and been watching as much content as I possibly could. Like I said, just always love to see the passion and enthusiasm for someone that young in the hobby here. Okay, so I believe that's 15 so far, and here's where I cheated a little. So I did this with the premise of any all-star game or team that is picked now in any sport, I feel like there's always replacement players, alternates. So I figured I cheated with these just to get as many names in here as possible, guys I didn't want to leave out. And I thought this was a good spot to put this channel, because just in case we have an alternate here, and that is Dom at Staven Sports Cards. So the alternate, and the reason he's an alternate is because not only is his normal channel Dom at Staven Sports Cards, he also has his Solo Shot Sports podcast, and of course had to pick the Yaz for Dom. And I told the story many times, but just appreciate so much. We were both at the 2022 National in Atlantic City, and at the get-together he went out of his way to introduce himself to me and make sure I, you know, kind of felt welcomed, and just kind of got me out of my shell a little bit. So I always appreciate him for that. So check out both his channels. Now we'll get into the managers, and these are all definitely people that have helped my channel grow and have done so for other channels, and it's kind of why I picked them. So first we'll go with Mike, baseball collector, and cannot count the number of people who, if you ask them how they got into YouTube, they say, well, I was searching vintage baseball cards and I found this channel. And that's exactly what I did. I was helping one of my neighbors go through his vintage card collection and sell some stuff for him. And I myself, that was about over 4 years ago now, and I myself wasn't super knowledgeable on it at the time. So first we'll pick this Bill Dickey. Mike being a catcher himself in his younger life, and pretty sure he always kind of champions to make sure nobody forgets about Bill Dickey being a great catcher. But yeah, as far as just learning first about vintage cards, learned a ton from Mike's channel, and then it's kind of like from there learned about a lot of other channels. I think it was around the time of the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame voting, and so people that were being nominated, and then also him talking about some of the people that were already in, got to learn about a lot of channels, and that's including this one. And that's Eric, those back pages. I said not the most, some of these didn't work out the best, but we'll just pick this Stan the Man Musial because Eric is the man. Really I'm not alone in this. I'm sure consider him like a mentor as far as just collecting. And the funny thing is, like, when I first started watching, I just immediately connected with his videos and the way he collected. And I think it was around episode 200 and some, which I believe he's more than double. I think he's like in the 450 or somewhere, it doesn't matter. But as soon as I started watching, I went back and watched every single back episode too. Most times we think we want to do that, but it just gets overwhelming. But it just, like I said, just the way what he would teach in every episode as far as his knowledge, and the way he collected just struck a chord with me, and I just wanted to consume as much of it as possible. And the funny thing is, like, probably couldn't collect more differently as far as, I mean, he collects kind of the goats as far as across many sports, and I kind of tend to try and want to collect the guys that aren't as widely heralded, one because they're cheaper and just to give them some respect. And he collects almost solely graded, and I collect almost solely ungraded cards. So just like I said, could not be almost farther apart in the way we collect, but still just the preaches in all his videos, the just enjoy what you collect, share your knowledge, and that you're always learning is just what I learned most from him, and what I would try and pass on as much to anybody starting. So I know I went on a little tangent there, but like I said, I feel like for many of us, I think we kind of have the same sentiment when it comes to Eric. So and then next, some channels that just really were huge supporters of my channel. The first, and was there from the very beginning, Picker Jim S. Sports Card Collector. This is the last of the Red Sox I've left, so I picked this Rick Farrell. And yeah, I believe I don't even remember, because I'm not sure how I found Jim's channel, and then started watching his videos and saying I was going to start my own, and kind of really pushed me towards that. And then once I did start, he was one of the first people to like constantly shout me out to try and grow my channel. And I've seen him do it for countless people. And then just, you know, care packages and sharing everything with everybody. And just Jim's just an awesome guy here in the community. And like I said, just any video you watch of his, he's definitely always just promoting other channels and building the community as a whole. So you know, always will appreciate Jim and his friendship. Another guy once I started talking to, could not be a bigger supporter, Ed Westergriff, one of the guys that is a true OG here. There are not any Phillies in this set, so I was trying to think of people from Philadelphia, thought of Campy right away, so it's a card I picked for Ed. But yeah, just love, I got to meet Ed briefly at the National last year. One of those things, like I saw him on the floor, and like I said, I was kind of just in my shell yet and not felt weird about introducing myself to people, but chased him down and just said, hey, Ed, and introduced myself. And you know, looking back, he was by himself, I was by myself at the time, so I probably should have said, hey, do you mind if I walk around you for a little bit? So that's kind of one thing I can remember going forward, like at the next National. Definitely, I mean, I've talked to so many more people since then, but definitely one of the things I look forward to most is actually capitalizing on meeting the people and getting to spend more time with them and talk to them and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Ed always watches videos, always comments, just love the way he speaks his mind and lets his feelings be known as far as anything that's damaging to the hobby. So always enjoy that. Another guy I met at the National, and I'd watched his channel for a little bit, and I think I just told him I started my channel. It's Rick Vintage Oddball Cards, and really went out of his way to just, could not be nicer, just the way I mean, we had like a 15-20 minute conversation, I believe. Like I said, just went out of his way to make me feel welcome, and then took me over to the bar and introduced me to like Don and John Mangini and a bunch of the Misfits. And then since then going forward, has been a big supporter, watching my videos and commenting. And like I said, just another one of the veterans here that always enjoy their content, enjoy their thoughts on the hobby and what they've done, like almost being like pioneers for us newer channels here. Again, obviously no Christy Mathewson in the set, but for his Giants, I picked this Monty Irvin. Sorry, this video is going on a lot longer than I wanted to, but wanted to give people their due. So next we have Scott at Reindeer Studios. This is the last of the managers. Just as far as his general attitude and positivity towards the whole community is just awesome, and his art and the videos he makes showing off his pieces of art, and just the creativity and everything is just amazing. And Scott's just an awesome dude. He's everybody's best friend. No Feller in here, no Al Rosen, no Don Mossy, but picked this Bob Levin. So yeah, just the positivity is just amazing from Scott. All right, so next we'll go into my 2 rookies of the year. First, we'll go here with Chris from Missouri. Just his collection is amazing. Kind of feel like he's always on a live stream showing it off, which I can never get enough of seeing his cards. Picked this Johnny Bench. player all time, I believe. So yeah, just as far as, you know, bursting on the scene within the last year, and just the quality of the collection and videos he makes, I definitely think he deserves to be one of the rookies of the year. And likewise, the other being Scott over at Stuke's Baseball Cards and Curiosities. Of course, had to pick this Harmon Killebrew. And Scott, just another guy, his knowledge as far as the sets, the players, is amazing. I know whenever he shows off pickups or anybody does their recaps and talks about walking around with him, it's like, it's almost like everybody else is playing checkers and he's playing chess, it sounds like, as far as the kind of obscure and off the beaten path type photos and just really cool stuff he finds. So definitely two great channels there, two great people involved in the community, and I think two deserving rookies of the year. And here's where I'm going to cheat again. So we did the All-Stars, we did the Rookie of the Year, but I figured there's some more awards we give out every year in Major League Baseball. And like I said, I mostly did this just to try and get more people in this. So if these don't technically count, I'm still just glad I got to shout them out and talk about them. But so first, we're going to give out a Cy Young Award. And the best pitcher that was in this set left, I believe, was Warren Spahn. And that will represent... So I wanted to pick someone kind of the old school way of pitching. Every 2 or 3 days, you had your ace come out, and you could count on them time after time, you know, 3 days rest every 3 days. And for this person, I think that's how they are with their videos. It's, like I said, definitely no more than 2 or 3 days ever, and there's a video out, and they're always outstanding, and the quality is just off the charts. And very glad to call him my friend. And of course, the old saying goes, Spawn and Shane and pray for rain. So Shane, Shoebox Legends, is my Cy Young Award winner. Like I said, just the ace of your staff you can count on to just have quality content out every, like I said, 2 to 3 days. So that's my Cy Young. And then, so you need an MVP. So put this Ted Williams up here. As far as quality of their collection, quality of their videos and their stories and thoughts they talk about, and just their general enthusiasm for the hobby, it does not get any more than Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. I think hands down, just like I said, just the cards he shows, and then the stories he talks about, and how much passion and, like I said, enthusiasm he has. And it was on no greater example of it than at the National this year. Just the build up to it, and then feel like he could not have come through anymore. Just with what he said in his mind, I feel like he accomplished all of it. Just to have the experiences with everybody, the cards he picked up. I feel like everybody's video, it was in the background, Dylan throwing up the double shakas and just, yo, what's up, man? Like every video, and it's just nonstop energy. So like I said, I don't think there's any better pick for an MVP for our community here. So that is it. Sorry, this went on a lot longer than I thought, but Eric, this was really fun. As I did Dylan's VR on cards that paired well together and stuff, I had my most fun ever putting that VR together, and just sitting here talking about all these channels. It's right up there with the most fun I've ever had just doing a video, because I could just start talking, and just get excited about talking about these channels that, I mean, these are my movie stars, my actors, my TV shows I watch. It's just YouTube. Just enjoy it so much. So I could talk all day about all these great channels. So love this platform to be able to do it. The reason to be able to do it. I've seen lots of people nominate me for All-Star Team, so anybody that's done that so far, thank you very much. I appreciate. There's no greater, I think most people can attest, we make these videos, there's no greater sense of accomplishment or feeling of reward than, you know, that being, you know, congratulated and stuff by your peers. It just just definitely a great feeling to just have that, just, you know, each other rooting each other on and shouting each other out and stuff like that. So before I ramble on anymore, again, Eric, thank you for this. Everyone else, thank you for watching. And just remember, any card can be a great looking card, even if it has 4 soft corners. Thank you.